Okay, anyway, like I was saying, I started getting sexually abused when I was 4 years old. And I remember the abuse so vividly. Like, I remember everything detail by detail by detail. There's a lot of things that I haven't shared with my family because, shit's disgusting, you know? But I remember when I was 4, my stepdad had just got out of jail. And he came to live with my mom and I. And, yeah, I remember that. I remember my mom went to the grocery store. And he was like, hey, come tickle me. I'm like, okay, like, haha, tickle, tickle, tickle. He's like, no, not like that. Like, come lick my nipple type. And I was like, okay. And, like, I didn't question it because I'm a little girl. Like, if an adult tells me, come do something, like, I'm just like, okay, it must be right. So I just remember that happening so often. Like, often. I'm going to say often as in, like, at least 3 times a week. I just remember that getting so frequent. And I remember him telling me, like, you don't do this to anybody else, only to me, because daddies and daughters do this. This is what we do. I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, it's pretty normal, I guess. And then as I got older, like, not older, but, like, in that year, he would tell me, like, oh, you know, walk around the house naked. No clothes on, just walk around naked in your robe. I was like, okay, I don't know. And things like that progressively got worse. And I didn't realize it was like a bad thing until I reached, I want to say, 2nd or 3rd grade. 2nd or 3rd grade is when I started to, the fuck is going on? And I remember, like, it's just so much. I just, like, remember, like, okay, this is really weird, like, And I remember how I figured out it wasn't okay. I remember one time I was with my biological dad, and something in my head told me, like, should I be tickling his nipple? This sounds so retarded. And, like, obviously I didn't do it because I was like, I don't know if I should. Like, this is weird. So I didn't, and I went back to my mom's, and I asked my stepdad, like, hey, am I supposed to do this to my dad too? Because, like, you know, you said it's a dad-daughter thing, like, and he tweaked. He was like, no, you can't do that. It's only me and you. Your dad can't know about that. It's just a me and you thing. At that point, I was like, okay, this is a little weird. Like, why would he tell me this is daddy's and daughter things, but I can't do it with my real dad? So I was like, okay, I guess. And then I started going to school. Well, I was already in school. But, like, I would, like, listen to girls talk and talk about their dad and the relationship. But I never heard, like, yeah, my dad tickles me. Did we tickle each other? Like, I never heard no shit like that. So I started questioning myself, and I started getting real confused because I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? And, like, at 3rd or 4th grade, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th grade, one of those, I realized, okay, nah, this shit's wrong. And I remember feeling so betrayed, like, so hurt. And before let me stop real quick. So, not only did my stepdad sexually abuse me, he mentally, physically, and verbally abused me. When I say verbally abused me, like, this nigga will call me every degrading name in the book. My name is Sherelle, obviously. This nigga would try the bare minimum to call me that. He would, this is why I hate being called, hey, the guy in the background, but anyway, this is why I hate being called dumb or dummy. Every time, that was my name to him. Dummy, dumbass, stupid, idiot. But most of all, out of those words, I hate dumb. Dummy, I hate that shit. Don't ever call me that. Like, you'll kill my whole vibe. But he would always call me that. He would always tell me I was never going to be anything. I would never graduate from high school. I would never graduate no school. I would just be his slave for my whole life. And, like, for a while, I believed it. Honestly, like, I believed it. And, like, as the abuse got worse, he would always tell me, like, you know, if you tell your mom, she's not going to believe you because she's going to believe me. And if you tell her, I'm going to tell her that, oh, you seduced me. And, you know, I'm not thinking. Like, I'm a little-ass kid. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. But, things just started getting progressively worse. Like, and the physical part was the sexual abuse as well as me getting beat the fuck up. And, like, I remember there would be times where people were like, hey, you know, like, come suck my dick. And I didn't want to. Like, nigga, no. No. Like, no, nigga, no. And I'll never forget this day. But I told him no. And my brother was outside playing. And I never thought he would do anything to harm his son, his blood son. Like, I never thought it. So my brother came on inside from playing outside with his friends. And he literally threw a fan at my brother. Like, for no reason. Pretty sure my brother was like 5 or 6. I don't fucking know. But when that happened, it clicked in my head. This nigga is evil as fuck. Like, evil. So at that point, anytime he asked me to do something, I felt like I had to do it. Because I felt like my brother's gonna get hurt. And if you know me, you know my brother that's my nigga. Like, I would do anything for that nigga. So I was like, fuck. Or like, before I even got a chance to say no, like, I don't want to do that, he would be like, if you don't do this and that, blah blah blah, I'm gonna kill you, your mom, and your brother and throw you in the ocean. And then after I kill you, I'm gonna fuck you. Like, bro, you're evil, you're sick. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're really fucked up in the head. So like, as well too, I had a lot of health problems growing up, and I still, like, I have a lot of health problems to this day. Whoa, that was weird. My seat moved by itself. Anyway, I had a lot of health problems growing up. I still have health problems, and I was always in and out the hospital as a kid growing up, and this nigga would still fuck with me being in and out the hospital. Like, that shit didn't matter to him. I was still, like, a fucking slave, I literally consider myself as a sex slave. Like, I don't, like, this shit was so horrendous, and I think about it, and like, it's like, fuck, like, I really went through some shit with this. I really went through some shit. But yeah, so that went on for many years, and I never said anything, and I had several chances to say stuff, but because of all the being put down, I felt like I didn't have a voice. I felt like this is gonna be my life, this is how it's gonna have to be, and I'm just gonna have to suck it up and deal with this shit. And I did for a really long time. I did when I was 14, I believe 13 or 14. I want to stick to 14 because I'm pretty sure that's when it happened. When I was 14, I got raped by him. Just raped. I remember he had told me, okay, go take a shower. Go take a shower and get undressed. Don't put anything on. Just come out naked. And like, I was doing this for a long time, and like, that never happened to me. So I was just like, oh my God, like, okay, whatever. And he said to me, like, every other time, go take a shower, go get undressed, and I swear this is gonna be the last time. We gotta stop doing this. I swear this is gonna be the last time. I swear. I just need a little fix. And I got excited in my head, like, okay, this is the last time. Fuck, I'm over this. Like, we could put it behind us. Like, fuck, okay, let me just whatever. So, no, that wasn't the last time, obviously. I remember coming out the shower naked, and, like, he would always tell me, walk up and down the living room. Like, just like I was modeling or something. Like, just walk up and down the living room naked. And I would hate that. I would get goosebumps to my spine. Like, I felt so weird. Like, it just felt sick to my stomach. So I did that. And then I remember he told me, come lay down with me. Come lay down with me. And I was like, And he had asked me to do that, like, lay down with him naked, like, 3 times before that. So he was like, lay down for me, blah, blah, blah. And I laid down. And, like, that's when I knew at this moment it was a wrap, because something switched. Like, he just got really aggressive and, like, put me on the floor and was like, he was literally like, I'm gonna get this, holding me down, like, just crazy shit. And I just remember screaming, and I think I kind of, like, zoned out, because I just remember screaming, and then in my head I was just, like, stuck. Like, I was just stuck, and I couldn't do shit. And I was just screaming, stuck in my head. And I remember, like, I got up, and he was like, go take a shower. Go hurry up. Go take a shower before your mom gets home. And I just remember crying in the bathtub, crying, and there's blood coming out of me. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck just happened? And I remember that day, I literally tried to kill myself. After I tried to kill myself, I went in my room, went to my closet, and I literally tried to kill myself because I never wanted that to happen to me. Like, I knew I was getting abused. I knew it wasn't right. But I never wanted myself to get raped. Like, that was beyond me. And I never wanted that, and it happened. And it was terrifying. Like, I was so scared. It was so painful. And I'm just bleeding, and like, it hurt. Like, and what really like irritated me about the whole situation, I just remember him saying, oh, moan, act like it feels good. Like, nigga, no, why am I gonna act like it feel good? Your dick is inside my vagina, and I'm like 13 or 14. I don't understand what you're doing. Like, what are you doing? So that was very like, that at that point I became so, what is the word? So disconnected from everything. Like, I literally, all I thought about was killing myself, killing him. Like, I just wanted it to be over with. And that's when I started telling him, like, hey, if you don't leave me alone, I'm gonna tell my mom. If you don't leave me alone, I'm gonna tell my mom. I'm gonna tell somebody. He was like, your mom's never gonna believe you. Your mom's not gonna believe you. Da, 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 da. And he was right. I ended up coming out, like, later about it. And my mom didn't believe me. She thought I made it up. She just thought all this stuff that I made it up, but she did not believe me. And that, as a teenager, that hurt my soul to the core. Because when you go through something like that, you need your mom to talk to and vent to about, like, what happened. I didn't have that. And I didn't want to talk to my dad about it because I'm his only kid. So imagine if I just go, hey, dad, you know, like, no, that's not happening. And then it was just terrible. It was really terrible. I felt so alone through those, like, my mom didn't believe me until like 5 years later. And I just felt so, like, what's the word? Oh, I can't think of the word. Anyways, I felt like my mom she didn't win. Like, she didn't do a good job as a mom. Like, it was just, it just really hurt me. And it still hurts me to this day because it's like, you're supposed to protect your kids, you know? You're not supposed to let that happen to you. And then this brings me back to, I'm all over the place with this story because I don't have a plan. I'm talking right now. But this brings me back to school. So after 6th grade, this nigga told my mom, like, we're not gonna put her in school because she's gonna get made fun of. And I did get made fun of in elementary school, I'm not gonna lie. Kids were mean to me. Kids called me diaper girl. Okay, that's better than, like, I'd rather go to school than have to deal with that. But anyway, so I got made fun of at school because I wore diapers and because I wore my scarf at school. So he told my mom, like, no, we're not gonna put her in school because kids are gonna make fun of her. Let's just homeschool her. My mom was like, okay, yeah. So I didn't go to school for 7th, 8th, or 9th grade. So I was at home getting harassed and all this shit for 3 years. And that was really, I would have to say those were the hardest 3 years of my life. Like, my schedule was to wake my brother up for school, get him ready, walk him to school, and on the way back, bring this nigga a fucking donut from the donut store, come back, suck him up, whatever the fuck he asked me to do, clean the dishes, whatever the fuck. And the fucked up part is, if he asked me, oh, do this, do that, and I said no, this nigga would make me wash all the dishes in the house. Like, take everything out the cabinets and wash them. Like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, it's just sickening. And, like, just that for 3 whole years it was like I was living a nightmare all over and over and over again. And what really bothers me the most is that he he manipulated me and talked down on me like every day. I just remember every single day, you're not gonna be shit, you're never gonna do nothing with your life, you're just gonna be my slave, da da da. And like, he would always tell me too, you're never gonna go to school, you're gonna be a statistic. Like, when I moved with my dad put me in school, and it was really hard because like, I didn't go to school since the 6th grade, and they just bumped me to 10th grade. Like, a bitch was confused. A bitch was behind. A bitch was confused. But I graduated. I graduated 5 months early. And I graduated from college, like, last year. So, and what, nigga? You can suck my dick. But, and it really frustrates me. Like, who do you think you are? Like, who do you think you are, bro? And the fact that, well, this is what really pisses me off. Like, I'm not the only girl he's done this to. He admitted to me in the past that he did what he did to me to another girl. And I'm going to explain the story. So I remember one time, somebody on his side of the family, or his friend, whoever the fuck, they died. And we went to their funeral in LA. And I remember him being real skittish and like just weird and jumpy. And I was probably like 8 or 9. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, we gotta go. I'm like, we just got here. And it was like, the funeral part was already over. It's like where you go and you eat, that part. So I was like, we just got here. Like, why do we have to leave? He's like, oh, because that girl over there, you know, the bad things I do to you, I did them to her. So we gotta leave. And like, the girl at the time was probably like 24, 23, something around there. But he just was so quick to get the fuck out and leave. And we really left. And I was like, okay, this is weird. Like, okay, maybe it did happen. I don't know. But if he's telling me that, then okay, he did some fuck nigga shit to her. So I was like, okay, that's weird. And the fact that he confessed that to me, it just made it weird, you know? It was just like, okay, how many other bitches did he do this to? And these bitches didn't say nothing either. And it's so sad how a man, or a person in general, can manipulate a woman. Like, it's really sad. And it's hard for me to talk about this because I love my brother, and this is his dad. And I don't want my brother to, like, watch this and feel a way about it. But, like, me and my brother are like this. I have nothing against my brother because it's his dad. Like, no, that's my nigga. I don't give a fuck. But that's why it's been taking me so long to make this video, because certain parts of my story might hurt other people I care about, as far as my dad and my mom and my brother. And, you know, it's my story to tell, so I'm telling it. But it's just so much more. It's so much more than that. And I took it to court. I did take it to court. I made a report about it. And I took it to court. And 3 times the case was closed because they said they had what is it called? Insufficient evidence, or whatever the fuck. Because 1, he had low testosterone. My mom would give him testosterone shots. And they said there's no way that he could have done that to me because he had low testosterone. My first thing to that is, nigga, of course he had low testosterone. If he wasn't fucking my mom and you're giving him testosterone, who the fuck do you think he was fucking? Like, hello? Second reason is because when I was like 10, when I got my colostomy bag put on, my vagina was closed, like sealed shut, closed. It was closed. And they had to do recorrection surgery to open that hoe up. So they were saying because of that, there's no way that could have happened. Like, my vagina wasn't always closed, you dumb fuck. It just somehow closed, and I don't know how. And it needed to get opened back up. So before that time period, shit was happening. But they didn't want to believe it. So another thing that fucked up my case is I had 2 diaries. And these diaries were, like, they went back, way back. And it was literally, for as far as I can remember, It was from when shit started happening. I would write it down, write about my day and what happened, what I ate. I would write all that shit down. And I remember telling my caseworker, like, if I can go back into the home and I can find these 2 journals, there's my evidence right there. Like, and somehow my mom and my stepdad found out about that information. And when I went back to the apartment to look for it, my whole room was ransacked. Shit was missing, shit was thrown away, shit was everywhere. So to this day, I still don't know, like, who found the journals, who threw them away. Like, I don't know. And they were hidden. So that's why my room was ransacked, so they can find the shit and throw it away. And I remember one of them was a Lisa Frank diary, and the lock on it was broken. So I got my own master lock and put that shit on there and locked it. So whoever ransacked my room clearly found it, clearly read it, threw it away. And I don't know if it was my mom, my stepdad. I don't really give a fuck. But I just know that was really evil to do that, because there was a lot of hurt and pain in that book. There's a lot of hurt, pain, and just agony in those 2 diaries. And it really upset me that whoever found it threw it away, because you knew what the truth was in there. You knew. And the part that irks my fucking soul about this shit, it's been so many years since this happened, and he will not admit to what he's done. He will not say, all right, Sherelle, yeah, I did this and I did that, I'm sorry. No, none of that. He won't say that. The last time this was brought up in discussion, he literally said, I didn't rape you. Nigga, then what the fuck did you do, bro, if you didn't rape me? He's not saying he didn't touch me, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. He will just say, I didn't rape you. So holding somebody down, holding their mouth closed is not rape. Forcing yourself in them is not rape. Like, what are you doing, bro? That sounds like rape to me, because I didn't ask you, hey, come fuck me. I didn't say none of that. Like, for years, you were building yourself up to lead to this. And I just find it really fucked up that he's out there roaming the streets, living a free life. And I don't even, like, when I explain this to people, I literally tell people this man is the devil himself. Because he is. Like, he really is. Like, you're just conniving people, condescending people, deceiving people to make them believe you're this true, pious man, when really you're a fucking rapist, a fucking child molester. And it's sick. And this is what makes me, like, understand that, okay, I know this nigga knows he's wrong because of this. So a few years ago, when my mom finally believed me because I don't know if she walked in on him watching child pornography, or she found child pornography on his Google history. I don't know which one, but one of those happened. My mom flipped out, and she's like, my daughter was telling the truth, da, 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 da. So she flipped out. And at that moment, after that, my mom had, like, a serious mental breakdown. I don't know if it's because, like, she felt guilty, or I don't know what the fuck, but something in her head didn't mesh right. And ever since that, she believed me. So, that's how I found out that, okay, my mom believed me, yada, yada, yada. So, because my mom went to the mental breakdown, whatever, I had to get custody of my brother, because, like, me and my brother, like, it's just me and my brother. His side of the family don't really fuck with him. Like, it's just me and my brother. Me, Omar, that's it. So, yeah, I had to go to court to get custody of him. And his dad was fighting me to get custody. And I'm like, nigga, no, you can't get custody. Like, you're a bum-ass nigga. You're a chomo. Like, no, you can't get him. And this nigga was really dead on fighting me for him. And, like, my brother made it clear, nigga, I don't like you. Nigga, I don't want to live with you. So, the last court date that we had, the judge was going to choose, like, who he wanted my brother to stay with. And it was very clear he was going to stay with me, because at the time, still, I was stable. I had 2 jobs. I was going to school. Like, I had my life put together. So, like the judge said, do you guys have anything to say before I make my decision? And this nigga looked at the judge and said, I think he should stay with her. Like, he didn't even fight. He just said, I think my son should stay with her. That was all I needed. That right there let me know. That right there in my head was like, hey, bitch, I'm sorry I fucked your life up. I'm sorry I took your mom and your brother away from you. And blah, 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 but here, you can have that nigga. That's how I took it. Because my stepdad made my life hell. Didn't go to school. He took everything away from me. He took me, my education. He took my mom, my brother. After I came out about what had happened to me, I swear to God, me and my brother, we were like this. I don't hold him accountable for this because he was young as fuck. His parents were putting shit in his head. And of course he's gonna believe what they tell him about me. So me and my brother did not fuck with each other for a long time. I fucked with him, but he was confused about the situation. And I get that. And for a long time, my mom would be like, oh yeah, if you want to see Omar, you have to come over here to the apartment. And I'm like, well, that nigga has to leave if you want me to come over there. Nope, he's not leaving. Either you see him when he's here or you don't. So I was put in a fucked up situation. Like, do I risk getting raped again to go see my brother? Like, do I do that? And I did a few times. Like, not that I got raped when I went over there, but I did risk my safety to go see my brother and put my safety in jeopardy to see my brother. And a lot of people aren't gonna be like, oh my God, she's stupid. But my brother means the world to me. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, there was a time that I went back to go see my brother, and this nigga tried to pull a fast one. I was sitting on the couch, and he was sitting on the other couch, and he's like, Sherelle, hey. I got up. I pretended like I had my earphones on, so I just pretended like I didn't even hear him. But I got up and I walked outside, and it made me so furious that this nigga was really, like, trying to do this shit again. Like, and I'm not scared of him. Like, it's been years. I'm not scared of him, but I don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with you. I wish the worst upon you. I don't forgive you because, no, there's no way that is okay whatsoever. And, like, not only did the abuse that I went through happen, but, like, I just, like, no. You're not shit, nigga. You're never gonna be shit. You're a bum. The whole time I've been taking care of Omar, you what? You just forgot about him? You don't even make an effort? Like, I already told my brother, like, when I first got him, I understand that's your dad. If you want to have a relationship with him, I'm not going to hold that against you. Like, that's your dad. I get it. My brother said, that's not my dad. What am I supposed to say? Like, my brother was, like, 14, 15 at the time. He's old enough to understand what the fuck is going on. And yeah, I literally went through a lot. And I remember one of the times that he had raped me, I got pregnant. I was 5 months along, and I had got pregnant. And, like, he was noticing I wasn't getting my period. And he asked me, did you get your period? Did you get your period? I said, no, I haven't got my period. Like, you're irritating me. You had sex with me, bro. The fuck you think is gonna happen? Like, bruh. So, I remember one day, breathe. Okay, I remember one day, my dad had gave me some money to take my brother out to eat. Me and my brother would always go to the UV, and we would go eat and be fat asses. So I remember one day my dad gave me some money, and, like, before we had left, this nigga hit me hard as fuck with, like, a 25-pound dumbbell right in the stomach. And, like, he didn't even say nothing. He just looked at me and, in the stomach. And I just remember, like, you know when you get hit in the stomach so hard and your stomach just feels like... That's how I felt for, like, an hour. And then I was just like, fuck, like, okay. So me and my brother ended up going to the UV, and we went to, I think it's Flame Boiler or Yoshino. We went to one of those places. And I just remember having this urge to pee. So I told my brother, like, hey, wait here, I have to pee. And when I sat down to go pee, there was just blood and a big clot that came out. And I took it out the toilet because I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this? Took it out the toilet, and it was a baby. Like, a little baby. And, yeah, that was my baby. And I knew I was pregnant because I have an ultrasound picture, and it was a girl. Like, I knew I was pregnant. I just didn't know, like, do I tell? Do I not? I don't know. So, yeah, I ended up flushing the baby. Although I should have kept it to show it to my mom, but at this point, I don't even think it would have made a difference. I think she still would have been like, oh my God, you had sex with someone else. But yeah, so that really broke my heart. That was my baby girl. That was Cabrina. That's how I was going to name her. And, like, I've been trying to get pregnant for a long time now. And that was the longest pregnancy I've ever had, was 5 months. And I recently been to the infertility place to see, like, why can't I have babies? Like, what the fuck's going on? And they tell me it's because of my health problems. They tell me because my reproductive system is internally damaged from the abuse that I endured at such a young age. My doctor told me, like, when you're 4, you're not supposed to have fingers in there. Like, you're supposed to be a kid. You're not supposed to know, like, feel any arousal down there. None of that. And it makes sense, like, okay, like, and it makes me angry. Like, it makes me so angry because it just makes me so angry. Because the one chance that I was pregnant, like, you had to be so vengeful and evil and just kill it. And, yeah, that was my baby. But, I will never forget that day so vividly. I just remember feeling like I had to pee. I looked down, and there's a big old sack of blood and just skunk in there. So sad. But I went through a lot of shit, man. Like, I just really know. And what I have to say is, like, I'm not trying to make this video like a whole hour, but if it's an hour, oh fucking well. Sexual abuse is no fucking joke. Like, these niggas are manipulators. They manipulate the fuck out of women. And men, too. If you are being sexually abused or someone's touching you, like, speak up. Like, I know it's harder. It's hard. It's hard as fuck to do. But if you feel a way about somebody, you feel it being all up on you, you need to speak up, because it's not your fault. It's not your fault that this person is violating you. If you trust them and they're violating, that's not your fault. You need to talk to somebody. And I've been sexually assaulted on many occasions, like I said, by different people. But it just so happens that this situation in particular bothers my soul, because this person was supposed to be my stepdad. This person was supposed to be the person that I look up to as a second father. This person was supposed to teach me and guide me and show me the right way. But no, this person took my innocent life and tore it into a tornado and did the most. Like, and it's fucked up. Now, a lot of people don't know about this story, but this happened last year, I want to say around this time or so. But I was working at a warehouse in Chino, and I was a janitor there. Easy as fuck, sweep the floor, mop the floor, like, pick up the plastic, easy as fuck. And these 2 white guys, brothers, these 2 white guys come and rush me, like, rush the fuck out of me, push me into the fucking, what is it called? They just pushed me into the, like, if you work in a warehouse, you know how they have those big old stands, and so push me into that, and I could do nothing. 2 big ass niggas just rushing the fuck out of me. Of course I screamed and I yelled for help, but what the fuck is that gonna do? So when that happened, after I screamed and I realized these niggas are finna fucking rape me, I froze. Like, I did not know what to do. I froze. No matter how hard I tried to get out, I couldn't get out. So I just fucking was like, fuck. I literally see my whole life in front of me. And, yeah, they raped me while I was at work. And that was really traumatic for me, because I'm supposed to be at work getting a bag, chasing this money, and people want to be fucking raping people. So I took that really hard. I didn't tell anybody about it. I told my aunt, but very vaguely. And I did take it to court. And I took it to court, and they didn't show up to the court date. So they had a warrant out for their arrest. Police go to their house, and they had 3 girls held captive in their home. And that breaks my heart, because I could have been one of those girls being held captive. But they were being bold, like, to rape me at work where you get your money. Like, that was insane. Like, that was, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, nobody really knows about this at all except for my aunt. So that right there was really hard for me to deal with, because I didn't want to tell anybody. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. Like, I never, like, after that had happened at work, I didn't even tell my boss I'm quitting. I just never went back, because, like, I was so petrified. Like, shit was terrible. So terrible. And that's the most recent thing that happened. That was, like, last year, literally around this time. And, ow. And then, when I was a sophomore, I would hang out with this guy. And we were, like, cool, like, homies, you know? Like, no relationship type shit, just homies. And I remember this nigga hit me up. He's like, hey, let's kick it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, for sure, I'm down. I'm hella down. And we met up at this park, and he started acting hella weird. I was like, hey, bro, like, are you good? Like, you're acting a little weird. Like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good. These 3 other niggas come to the park, and at that point, I felt weird, because I was like, hey, bro, I thought it was just gonna be you and I hanging out. Like, I don't really know who your friends are like that. Like, I don't really feel comfortable. Spoke too soon. Spoke way too soon. Literally 5 minutes after I told him that, he was like, no, it's good. This is my fam. Like, it's all good. One of the guys ended up, like, holding me down. Like, pushing me on the ground, holding me down. And I'm asking my friend, like, hey, yo, like, tell him to stop. Like, what the fuck is going on? The other nigga says, if you're trying to be in our gang, you need to rape her. And I'm sitting there like, huh? The fuck? And there's just 4 niggas just trying to fuck me. And I was like, bro, like, what the fuck? This is so crazy. So the one that was supposed to be my friend, he ended up raping me to get into this gang. The other guy that was holding me down, he ended up raping me too. There was 3 of them that actually raped me. The last guy, he ran off. He was like, no, I didn't think we were going to do this, and he ran. But the 3 that raped me, one of them ended up committing suicide. The 2 of them went to jail. But one out of the 2 that went to jail got out extremely early and got let off with parole. Or probation, parole, whatever the fuck. And, like, I seen him recently, too, at Walmart. Like, I guess he worked here. But I wasn't scared. I was just disgusted. Like, how do you do that and you come back to society like, oh, nothing, ooh. Like, I don't give a fuck if you were trying to get initiated into a gang. Like, why out of all things to get initiated into a gang do you have to rape someone? Like, what type of shit is that? And that, they left me pretty beat up too. Pretty beat up, pretty scarred up, pretty fucked up. And that too, like, that really broke me, because I'm in high school, 10th grade. I'm trying to deal with the situation I left at my house and the situation that went on at school. Like, I didn't have my mom to talk to. I couldn't tell my dad this shit. He would go crazy. Like, I was just sitting there trying to do it by myself and cope together. And that shit was really crazy. Like, and, yeah. But there's more situations than the 3 I just mentioned. But I don't want to get into that. Like, this is for another diary entry. But out of these 3 situations, the one that bothers me the most is with my stepdad. Because like I said, you're supposed to be my stepdad. You're supposed to teach me things. You're supposed to protect me and this and that and the other. And you didn't. You literally just... I was literally a slave. And what sucks about it too is I got bullied at school for wearing diapers. And because I was Muslim, so I had to wear my hijab, I got bullied at school. So it's like I went to school and I got made fun of. I came home and I still got fucked with. Like, I couldn't get a break. And it was just like hella annoying because like the only time I got a break is when I went to see my dad. Like, that was it. I didn't get a break no other time but when I went to go visit my dad. Like, my dad would let me play. He would let me pretty much do what I wanted. And that was cool. That was the only time I got to be a kid. Like, I kid you not, like on a regular basis, I was not allowed to watch TV unless we were all watching a movie together. But this nigga would try his best to make sure I wasn't doing something fun. I wasn't allowed to watch TV. I had my own room, my own bed, a full ass bed. I wasn't allowed to be in my room. I literally had to sleep on the couch in the living room so he can fuck with me and bother me. Like, and then as a punishment for me not wanting to do what he said, I would have to eat mushy rice, watery rice, not cup of noodles, what the fuck is it called? Top ramen with no sauce packet and no water in it. Like, just stupid shit. Like, just like torture. I remember one time too, like, now I know it's fake, obviously, because I figured that shit out recently. But I remember one time this nigga asked me to do something, and I was like, nah, bro, like, I don't feel like doing that. Like, I'm tired of you. Like, I don't want to do that. So this nigga pulled out a gun, put it to my head, and said, you better do it. I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out all over this floor. I was like, god damn. Like, okay. So I got to going. Like, fuck, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And he did that a few times. And I figured out that was a fucking BB gun. Like, really? Really? But, shit like that. Just evil shit. Like, shit. Like, that's why I say he's the devil himself. Like, I don't give a fuck what nobody says, bro. And, like, I just know if I wasn't sexually abused, I would be a totally different person. And I just know that for a fact. Like, I have hella trust issues. I know I wouldn't have hella trust issues if I didn't get raped or sexually abused. But all I have to say is, words hurt. This nigga called me an idiot, stupid, dumbass, dummy, literally my whole life. And my mom knew. My mom knew about him verbally abusing me because they would argue about it. She would tell him, like, don't talk to my daughter like that. Like, don't call her stupid. Don't call her dumb. Don't call her that. Like, you don't got to do that. They would argue about that all the time. And obviously, he didn't give a fuck. And, like, I don't know. Like, it really bothers me because I feel like, as much as it hurts me to say this, I feel like my mom knew about what was going on. Because there was at least 3 or 4 incidents where she walked in the room and shit was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me how that didn't to your head. And I feel fucked up for saying that. I feel like my mom knew, but, like, listen to this. So, this is when we lived on the old apartments on Las Colinas. The pink little apartments, ghetto-ass shits. But, I remember, like, there's a living room, the hallway door, and then her room and my brother's room. So I remember we lived upstairs, so you could hear when somebody's coming to the living room. So I remember, like, this nigga told me to lay down with him naked with my robe on. I was like... So I heard my mom, like, the TV in the living room was on, like, kind of loud. But I remember, like, my mom... walking into the living room, she opened the hallway door, and she popped her head in, and she was like, what are you guys doing? And, like, I was just looking at her like, please help me, please help me, please help me. Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head. And she just looked at me, looked at him, rolled her eyes, and slammed the door. And I can't make this up. Like, I really can't make this up. And like, I think about that moment all the time, and I'm like, what the fuck did you think was happening? Do you think we're just booed up? Like, no. Like, I'm weird. Maybe you, in her head, like, okay, this is normal. My husband and my daughter are just cuddling. Like, no, that's weird. That's weird. And it really bothers me that, like, she's seen that, rolled her eyes, and walked away. And like, from that moment, I was thinking to my Mom, save me, save me. No, that didn't happen. And like, there was another incident similar to that, and the same thing happened. She just walked away. And I just, like, that just makes me feel like she knew what was going on. She knew what was going on. Either she was too scared to do anything about it, or she just was in denial. Because my stepdad was very abusive, physically abusive to my mom, like, back in the day. Like, my stepdad broke my mom's hand before. Like, I remember seeing him drag her up and through down the house. Like, he was severely physically abusive to her. But at a point in time, it had stopped because my mom was like, I'm not dealing with that no more. Like, you're not going to be putting your fucking hands on me, da-da-da-da, and the other. But it just, like, blows my mind. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. And I'm not going to lie. It took me years. When I say years, took me years to get over the fact that my mom didn't believe me. Like, it took me years to put it together. Like, my mom is my mom. I'm her first daughter and her only daughter. She doesn't believe me. What the fuck am I supposed to do to make her believe me? I tried to put the pieces of the puzzle for her together. And that's why, like, our relationship isn't the best, because, like, there's that part of me that won't let that go, and I can't help it. I'm human. I have feelings. You're my mom. You were supposed to care. You're supposed to be there. You're supposed to believe me. Like, I can't let that part of me go, because it's still, like, it's still there. And, like, I remember when I moved with my dad. To this day, I have not sat down with my dad and be like, yeah, my stepdad raped me and molested me for years and hit me and beat me. No, I do not have the balls to tell my dad that. I had to tell my aunt what happened to me, and she had to tell him, because I'm my dad's only kid. I can't even imagine that. My dad would probably flip the fuck out. When he found out about, he didn't even find out everything. He just found out something's not happening to Sherelle by her stepdad. That's it. He flipped out. And, like, I'll never forget the day. Like, he just looked at me and he said, I believe you, kid. Like, I believe you. That's all I wanted to hear from my mom was, I believe you. Like, even if she didn't mean it, just, I believe you. And, like, it really hurt. It hurt my soul that I didn't get that from her at all. And it would have made things better, because all she had to do was call this nigga on the phone, and the police were going to record their conversation so he can admit through the phone, so they can get a confession. She didn't want to do it because I was lying. And, like, that really fucked with me too. And I remember, like, after this had happened, my mom would be like, what are you up to? I'd be like, oh, I'm heading to counseling. Counseling for what? Oh, to talk. And she'd be like, I don't see why, like, nothing even happened to you. Hearing shit like that for so many years broke my heart. Like, what do you, like, this isn't an act. Like, this isn't an act. And, like, it just made me so angry and so emotional that my mom wasn't there for me. And I have a lot of hurt. Have a lot of hurt for my mom not believing me, because, you're my mom. I needed a mom. I needed my mom there to say, honey, it's going to be okay. Give me a hug. Like, we're going to get through this. But she was not there. And it really, I think that my mom not believing me, I think that really changed who I was. Like I said, I love my mom. We have a relationship. We talk. But it's not like, And I feel like there's that part of me that won't let it be like that because of that. I can't grasp it correctly. And, and it's terrible. It really is terrible. My point to this video is, if you are getting sexually abused, say something. Like, tell somebody that you're friends with. Like, tell anyone, because this shit is no joke. Like, I went through this for so many years, and my mind is not right. Like, I'm not saying that I'm crazy. I mean, I am a little crazy, but my mind is not right. So I have a niece, and like, if my niece is chilling with her uncle or her cousin, I'm gonna pop my head in there like, the fuck is going on? Not because I feel like they're doing something to her, but just because, like, that's where my mind goes. And I feel so bad because I know they know that I'm doing that. And I know it makes them feel like, okay, bitch, stop being a weirdo. But that's just how my mind goes. And I can't make it go back. And, yeah, it's really annoying because I don't mean to be, like, a weirdo. I don't mean to make them feel weird, but that's just where my mind goes. Or, like, I get these vibes. If I meet a female or a guy, I look at them, I'm like, they're being molested. And I'm right all the time. Every single time I'm right. My ex, this nigga, he got molested. And, like, I just looked at him. I was like, nigga, like, I'm thinking in my head, like, nigga, you got molested. And I'm like, no, he didn't. You're just being crazy. And months went by, and he told me that he did. And I was like, damn, I have a gift. And, like, 9 times out of... I've never met somebody and been wrong about it, like, ever. I can't recall one person I said they're being molested or touched, and I've been wrong because I haven't. I remember this one girl. This is why I never had friends. Like, this is why I feel like I don't have friends to this day. So I remember one time when I was still in school, I met this girl named Hannah. I don't know her last name, but her name was Hannah. Pretty girl. Blue eyes or hazel eyes, blonde curly hair. She's black with white. Beautiful girl. Beautiful. And I remember I suck at math. So I remember she was good at math, and she came over and helped me with my homework. And she lived in the apartments, like, there's Las Colinas and there's those raggedy white and blue ones. She lived in the apartments right over there. So I remember one time this pervert was, like, watching her walk home. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just looking at my next one walk home. Just watching her. She's so beautiful. I'm going to make her mine. She's going to be mine. And at that point, I was like, this nigga is sick. And I reacted the way I did because she was living in foster care when she was helping me because her grandfather molested her. And her mom didn't believe her, so she had to go to the system. So I remember her telling me, like, yeah, my grandpa did this to me, and I wanted to tell her so bad, like, my stepdad's doing that to me, save me. And I didn't because I'm a bitch. So I remember the next day at school, like, I told her, I can't be friends with you anymore. And I felt like I broke her heart, and I didn't want to, but I just didn't want to jeopardize putting her in the situation I was in, especially because she already went through that. So she was like, why? I really want to be friends with you. Like, I really like you. Like, I like, you're so cool. Like, I just want to be your friend. I was like, yeah, I can't be your friend. And I felt so terrible because, like, she was a cool bitch. And, like, I just felt like I couldn't bring friends to my house because they were going to be in the situation I was in. And I hated feeling that way because I would never want anyone to go through what I went through. Like, that shit was so toxic. Like, I could not wish that on anybody. And I made a poem about this. I posted it on my last YouTube video on my last channel, but it's like a poem. I don't know by heart, and if I pause the video, it's gonna fuck up. But you guys can go watch my last video, and it's called Yavara. It's his name spelled backwards, Avery. And, like, literally, if I had the chance, I would literally watch him go to jail, watch him get raped in jail, and I would want him to remember all the times I told him, stop. I want him to think about all those times I begged him to stop. All the times. And he didn't. He just kept forcing himself on me. I would want that to replay in his head as he was getting raped. I just would want that for him, like, and I would want, one thing I really want for him to do is confess to what you did. Confess to what you did to me. Like, it doesn't even have to, I'm not asking for a fucking apology, nigga. Like, I'm better than you. Like, you're scum on the ground. I hope you die a terrible death, but you are not shit. I did all the things you said that I couldn't do. I graduated high school. I graduated college. Like, I'm a boss ass bitch. That's all I know. I did not let your discouraging words throw me in the ground and take me to the path of drugs and destruction. I did not do that. Because up here, I am strong. So I just want you to confess to what you did. Like, I'm not asking you to say sorry and write me a whole motherfucking paragraph. I'm just asking you to say, look, Sherelle, yes, I raped you. That's it. Or yes, I raped Sherelle. Like, just confess to what you did and be a man about it. Like, don't be a bitch and be like, oh, I didn't rape you. I didn't rape you. I didn't rape you. Like, are you okay up there? Because no. Like, how can you, like, you're a sociopath. You're a psychopath. How do you wake up every day knowing, yep, I raped her, but I'm going to just live my normal life? Like, how does that work? Somebody please tell me how that works, because I don't know. Like, and who knows how many other people that he's done this to, because I don't know aside from that one girl. And you know what? I remember, too, I was, like young, probably 7, 8. I remember him telling me, he was like, you know why I do this to you? I was like, why? He's like, because when I was little, a girl would do these things to me. And it didn't dawn on me till later that it wasn't a girl doing that to him. It was probably a full-ass nigga. Because I remember him watching gay porn. So it was probably a full-ass nigga fucking him, touching him, and he didn't want to say that. But I don't understand, because, like, if you get raped or molested, you know what it feels like to go through that. Why would you want to inflict that on other people? Like, I've been raped. I've been molested. I'm not over here touching on bitches and kids. No. Like, that's out. I would never want a child to feel how I felt. I was 4 years old, and I felt confused. I felt lost. I felt damaged. I felt broken at 4 years old. Not to mention, he was already abusing me before that. I remember vividly. I was 2 years old. I vividly remember this. Like, my first memory is this. I remember I was 2 years old, and he's shoving my head in the bathtub, telling me, this is what you get because you look like your fucking dad. Just back and forth. I'm just being shoved in the bathtub. There was another incident, too. Like, he told me, like, I'm 2, and I remember this. Like, how does this even make logical sense? He told me, here's some cereal, but I want you to pick up the cereal on the spoon and not get any milk on it. Nigga, what? I remember every single time I got milk on the spoon, to the back of the head. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what kind of fucking challenge is this, bro? Like, you don't make no fucking sense, my nigga. Like, pick up the spoon but don't get milk on it. Like, it's cereal. Like, just stupid shit like that, I remember. And it's like, you nigga, you not shit. And I just want you to know, like, you're beyond me. You're beneath me. Like, I just want you to admit what you did. At least one time. Because when you die, you're not going to have nobody by your side. Your family doesn't give a shit about you. Omar doesn't give a shit about you. Like, you're just going to be dying by your lonesome. And it's really sad, because you're going to have all these flustering thoughts, and you're not going to be able to have no one to tell them to. You're just going to die a lonely death, and you're going to go to hell. Like, I'm not one to say who's going to hell or not, but he's Muslim. And we all know in Islam, hypocrites, Allah does not like hypocrites whatsoever. So that's the first going to hell. And people who do shirk. So, yeah, you're a hypocrite for preaching and practicing all this shit, and you'll be over here touching little ass kids. You're sick. You're sick. You're sick. But I just want to say, if you are being sexually abused for the last time, it is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Stop, please. You are better than that. You can get out of that. Even if you think you cannot, even if you think you can't get out of it, you can tell me, and I'll tell who needs to be told to get the shit done. Like, no. Nobody, no man, no child, no girl, no boy should ever have to get sexually abused, no matter what. Like, it's just out. Even if you feel like, even if they're not touching you and they're just being a creep, tell somebody, because that's out. That's really out. That's all for my video today. I know this video was all over the place, but I just wanted to free flow. So that's my video. Like, comment, subscribe, or don't. I really don't care. But I just wanted to do this because it's been on my mind, and April, you know, and I promise you guys I make this video. And to anybody that watches this, if it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry, but this is my story to tell, so I have to tell it. It's getting hot as fuck in this car, so I'ma go.